When I opened my eyes, I found myself staring into James' bare chest. I blushed, but looked up to see James still sleeping. His sleeping face made me giggle softly, but the reality of the situation made my heart flutter. I couldn't believe it. I was lying next to a man I had grown to love with all of my heart. His warm embrace made me feel safe, and as the tender moment we shared replayed in my head, I couldn't help but smile and snuggle into his chest further. Unconsciously, he held me tighter to his body, giving me more of his warmth. I didn't want to move, but then my core suddenly tightened and made me sit up without waking the man next to me. I felt my legs move together and bring me to my balcony window, where I opened the glass and stepped out onto the patio to find none other than Dirty Diana! No. I stared wide-eyed at Diana, who sat cross-legged on the railing of my balcony with her glowing red-eyed stare upon me. I opened my mouth to object, but Diana stopped me.
Before you get all huffy, I didn't come here to take your precious man away. By the way, how was it exactly? Demons are the best lovers, after all.
That's none of your business, girl. I glared.
What do you want, Diana?
Well, I just wanted to see how you truly feel. You know, without him around to influence you.
What are you talking about?
I'm giving you an opportunity to come clean about these feelings of yours, and to give you your salvation.
Bitch, we don't need no salvation, alright? If we're sinners, then we are sinners. What was Diana up to? This was beyond crazy. Nothing she had done had made sense. Why was I still alive at this rate?
What's keeping you from just killing me and taking them?
You are not worth my time.
Says the girl who has spent her entire time here trying to make our life horrible shit! My water bottle! God.
Not worth your time? What, are you afraid something might happen?
All at once, I felt my body being lifted into the air and moved over past the railings, leaving me with nothing but the ground below to threaten me with a collision death. Nice.
Oh, trust me, dear. I'm not afraid to kill you. I can drop you right now and leave your body to rot until the morning, when the boys would find you.
I wanted to speak, but the thought of her letting go and letting me fall to my death scared my voice into silence. Diana then chuckled and wheeled my body back to the balcony, setting me down gently.
Alas, if I kill you, then the boys would never come with me willingly back to the demon world, and then I'd have to chase them all around the world, or kill them and drag them back. But then their father wouldn't be happy, and blah blah blah. Too much work.
Diana seemed very business-oriented, as if the boys were cargo more than men. It irked me, but then she smiled.
I'm giving you one chance to denounce your love for the demon in your bed, and let me take him and the other boys back to the demon world.
And why, may I ask, would I do that?
There are so many reasons why, actually. There's the reason that he's a demon and you're a human, so you two can never truly have a happily ever after. Then there's the reason that demons truly do not know how to love, despite what he may proclaim. The list goes on and on. The point is, if you give me the boys, I will promise you eternal happiness.
Eternal happiness?
That's right. I have the power to give you anything you desire. Power, men, women, money, fame. Name it, and it's yours. A demon never goes back on their word, and I have the power to obtain anything you wish. Our deal is our contract.
I could only stare in shock. This was a dream. It had to be. However, Diana smiled an almost genuine smile at me, shaking me to the reality of the situation. She would never smile like that.
Don't you wish to be free of your destiny? Your father constantly berating you to become the next CEO of your grandfather's company.
Stalker. How did you...
I was almost floored in surprise. How did Diana know all of this? She was a succubus, yes. But how could she know anything beyond sexual desire? That's awful. You take that back, Laundry. You take that back. That's just rude. She wasn't Damien. That's true. Diana chuckled and leaned back against her arms.
Just because I play with hearts and sex doesn't mean I don't know my way around the human mind. You happen to be an open book of information. But I digress. I can give you your freedom with ease. It'll be like you were always meant to have it. All I ask is that you hand over the boys. What?
Nope.
Was I seriously being given this choice? The man I loved for anything I wanted? She was powerful enough? Did I want to consider? No, I didn't want to consider. I didn't want to. Nobody wants to consider this. Even if it's someone as boring as James. No.
No.
She must have been crazier than I thought. I glared.
Absolutely not.
Diana sighed and stood up onto the railing. Why wasn't I? What I wasn't expecting was her lifting me into the air. I tried to scream, but my voice suddenly became locked in silence. What was Diana doing? Lifting me in the air. Duh. Diana made me float over to her, and she smirked as we touched noses.
Well, if I can't return home with the boys, I might as well return home with the power to fight back.
Diana finally leaned in and kissed me. I shut my eyes, feeling the need to bite her lips, but finding no muscles in my face listening to my mental commands. What did she do to me? What everyone in this game does. Except Damien and Matthew and, I guess, James. But James encouraged it. Non-consensually taking kisses and energy. Oh, there we go. New line. I didn't want to enjoy it, but every single nerve in my body was flaring in excitement and pleasure as she kissed me. I felt my body's energy drained slowly, but forcefully from my body. Was she using her? Yes, she was. Jesus, fuck laundry. It seemed like forever, but finally, Diana pulled away from the kiss with a smile and a lick of her lips. She lowered me back onto the patio and chuckled. For some reason, even though nothing had changed, she looked stronger, powerful. It was almost like looking at a new Diana. Diana then stepped back off of the railing, making me catch my breath in my throat. As she took another step away from me, she looked to be simply walking on the night air. Diana smirked at my sudden surprise.
May you never regret your choice, human. If you do, I'll happily come and take it away.
With a flick of her hair, Diana turned and walked away into the night, fading into the darkness like a shadow. I watched her fade away before looking back to the man in my bed. I made the right choice. My heart gave a gentle thump, giving me my answer.
Yes, I'm
I
alive.
made the right choice.
I did, and I will never regret it for as long as I live.
I regret it. I walked back inside and gently crawled back into bed, within the embrace of the safest arms I knew. I snuggled close to the warmth before closing my eyes. I was happy. Here we go. The rest of the story can almost be passed over. With Diana gone, my life returned to normal with school and my friends not remembering what had happened. It was as if magic never even appeared in my world. One thing was for certain, though. James loved me, and I loved him just as much. We had promised our lives to each other, and nothing was going to take that away from us, not even time itself. Our love was so powerful, it practically overwhelmed me with joy every time I found him holding me close every morning. To think a demon ex-prince in love with a human like me, it was unthinkable, unbelievable, it was practically impossible, inconceivable.
We make that
But it was
joke every
true.
time.
I can't, cause it's a perfect setup for the right?
It's just inevitable.
It is. But it was true. I hate this line. It doesn't make sense. Why do they all leave? The other boys decided to leave of their own accord. They knew that my future would only need James at my side. Not true. I also have friends. So they each decided to start their own lives in the human world. James was heartbroken at first, but he understood that he had to let his brothers grow like he did. Oh, that's actually kind of sad. Besides, James had Besides, James had someone new to care for now. His brothers didn't need him now that he was caring for me. That's not really how it works. It's not just like, hey, I need you to care for me, and like, oh shit, I gotta go care for this other person now. Oh, okay, we're totally fine now, bruh. It's all good. I felt bad as well for being closer to James than the others, but they reassured me that I was okay, and that they would remain nearby should I ever need them. I was happy for that. Why can't we all just hang out in our house? They made me promise, however, that I would love James for as long as we lived. That promise was instantly given. But what of my future? Well, it was kind of made for me. Before I graduated, James decided to step into the light of the Anderson Toys Company and, with the help of his demon powers and leadership charisma, he managed to influence not only the entire board, but my father as well into letting him run for CEO. I was beyond shocked. How James managed to do that was all beyond me. When the vote was called, James had taken over the company I was destined to have. He vowed to respect the wishes of the late CEO and helped the company become an even grander company. For a demon, it was simple to make a company grand. Fucking cheater. My grandfather would have been proud to see how James helped it shine. With the CEO position filled, my father had no choice but to let me decide my future, which made me happy beyond compare. No longer would I have the future scaring me into a corner. I could choose my life on my own. That being said, I was so scared of what the future was going to take me to. What did I want to do? Did I want to help James build the company? Did I want to venture off on my own? James reassured me that he would support me and help me through whatever I decided to do, promising that I came first before the company he had come to reign over. I was grateful and would never forget that promise. I was happy and nothing could shake me down from that happiness. One night, a couple of years after the boys and I had met, I had a moment to myself. So I sat in my room and took in all that had happened as if it was all a dream. The demons, the devils, the magic, it was all surreal to believe. It almost frightened me to think that it could have all been a dream. The warm feeling in my heart reminded me that it was all real. The demons, the magic, the love I had, all real. I smiled as I held my hands to my chest, relishing in the feelings dancing within my soul.
Are you okay?
No, yeah.
I looked up from my lap to see James standing at the doorway, cross-armed with a playfully raised eyebrow. I smiled and blushed a bit.
Yeah, I'm okay. I was just remembering how we met and such.
Were you now?
Yeah, and I wouldn't change a thing.
I would. James smiled and walked over to me, gently taking my hands and kissing over the knuckles sweetly. All right, he moved on to another part of the body. Hooray! Hey!
Come, I have a surprise for you.
I raised an eyebrow. A surprise? What the heck was he plotting? James sickly chuckled and kissed my forehead. Damn
I
it.
promise you'll love it.
Deciding to go along with it, I nodded and stood up. James gently took my arm under his and led me out of my bedroom. I stared in shock at the path of golden rose petals lining the floor, creating a pathway for my door. James led me down the golden rose path as if it was all part of his plan. It was part of his plan.
James, what's going on?
James didn't answer, but the thunder did. Jesus fuck. He continued to lead me down the stairs of the lobby, where the path wound into the dining room. I stared in shock as I saw the table set with candles and a large bouquet of golden roses decorating the middle.
Huh. Interesting. James, I feel sort of underdressed, you know?
There's nothing wrong with how you look now. You're beautiful no matter what clothes you wear.
Now that's just sweet. I couldn't help but let a red blush paint my face, making James chuckle once again. He led me to my seat, where I was greeted with a plate of shrimp pesto on the table, and then Wren died.
James!
Remember
could
what that
you?
is?
Die!
Remember what that is? Yes, your murder weapon.
James laughed and smiled. I smiled back up him. Feeling nostalgia run over my heart. Giddy
Hey, remember
happiness
that time I
bubbled.
almost died? Wasn't that fun?
Yes. Giddy happiness bubbled as I looked up at the man I had loved.
You made it when we first met, when you and your brothers were apologizing for getting blood in the lobby.
Well, it was more than that we had to apologize for, but that was the gist of it, yes.
How could I forget? What's this all about?
James gently bent forward and kissed my forehead sweetly, making me giggle slightly.
You are such
But
a
only
wonderful
slightly.
woman. I can't believe that I can love someone this much. You have changed my whole world, and now you have become my everything. I practically get scared waking up every morning in case this is all just a blissful dream.
James.
Before I could speak further, James gently placed his fingers on my lips, shh, hushing me before he caressed my cheek. I nuzzled into his hand, almost purring at the feel of the warmth against my cheek. Is everyone in this game a cat?
I love you, and I will never stop loving you. No matter what comes our way, I promise to be there for you as long as time keeps moving. I want to be yours forever.
Oh, Jesus fuck! God!
Gasp!
What the fuck happens in the epilogue then? Before I could realize what was going on, James, oh my god, I can't see him as anything right now except Darren Chris in a Warbler uniform with glasses. Before I could realize what was going on, James slowly got down on one knee beside me and took out a small black box. He lifted the top to reveal a beautiful ring with purple gem crowned with gold and purple embellishments. I stared, my mind instantly freezing in surprise at the sight.
Will you, Miss Anderson, marry me?
Will you launch me, Anderson, marry me? I was speechless. I felt myself break and start to weep in joy. Was this happening? This had to be a dream. I mentally begged every deity in the sky to never wake me up if that was the case. I fought my tears, trying to speak to answer his question. I didn't want to leave him in the dark, and I didn't want him to be on the ground for so long. His knees are kind of shitty.
Yes! Yes, I will!
I stood up, crying and jumping in joy as James smiled, the biggest smile I'd ever seen on his face, and slid the ring onto my ring finger. As it finally ended its upward journey at the crevice of my finger, James stood up and took me into his arms, kissing me and sealing my words. What?
It finally ended its upward journey at the crevice of my finger.
Okay, yeah,
What
that was
line?
a weird line. I was just going with emotions, bruh. I had gained the heart of a demon. No, of a man I loved. I vowed to cherish him and love him for the remainder of my days and beyond. Could a human love a demon forever? Wait, shit. Could a demon love a human forever? I knew James would. And that was my happily ever after. End. James' proposal. T. New password unlocked. Demon War.
Right, new.
It's always been unlocked.
Well, that was a thing.
Are we skipping the credits?
It should be showing up now, right?
I don't see them. What's happening? I don't like this.
Hello? Well, okay.
Okay. There's like, oh, fuck the credits.
It didn't show up!
I know, it's what I'm
Screen was
laughing. I'm like,
black!
okay.
Well, that was James's route.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying this. I actually liked Eric's route more, but that might just be because I love to hate him. And James was just really uninteresting to play with. I mean, he's sweet, and you know, I got a little of the flutters at the proposal because I was not expecting it because nobody, you know, Sam did the proposal in his epilogue, so I was just like, holy Jesus, motherfucker. But I don't know. We wanted that, like we said it before, we wanted that extra element from him, and I'm gonna be honest, his Malak scene was lame. he had a golden gun, and he somehow made it lame as hell. Like, there wasn't even a fight. Like, everybody else at least got to, like, fight, and he just immediately, like, pulled out his gun and was like, yeah, I'll shoot you, bam, you dead, now what? And it's like, well, I mean, practically that was probably the best thing to happen, but it's kind of boring to see, you know?
James's route was just very straightforward.
Yeah. I know, there wasn't any surprise in it, there wasn't anything to really uncover. It was just like, you know, it's what we already knew. He was the heir. He was unhappy with it. He left. He didn't want to be with Diana. I don't know. It's weird because I know I spent so much time complaining about how two-faced Eric was with his mask, but here it's like James didn't have a mask, but he also didn't have anything else to expand upon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad. Like, I don't hate him, but I'm like, I just
wish
don't
there
feel
was
anything.
more to it.
I wish there was more to him. Like, I feel like he could have been something really interesting if they had explored it more, but it was just very straightforward. Like, the moments where I was most excited by James is when he would go, like, that crazy animalistic shit, because I was like, oh god, is that like his, like, repressed, like, I am tired of being the good one shit going on? But we didn't really get much of that.
Yeah.
It didn't really get addressed. It just, like, happened and then unhappened. I wanted more from it. I wanted to like him more because he didn't really ever do anything wrong or make him unlikable. It's just that he's not interesting. So I don't.
There was just something missing.
So it's like I don't really like him, but I also don't dislike him. I just feel very.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
Could have used more Could have used the. Yeah, that's really basically it. Like you said, he was missing that special ingredient.
Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.